Good morning. I'm Dwight Keene. I'm Chair of the Kansas Corporation Commission. I'm joined this morning by fellow Commissioner Susan Duffy and Commissioner Andrew French. This time I'll call to order this meeting of the Kansas Corporation Commission on this Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. Commissioners, the first matters for our consideration this morning are 21 items on the consent agenda. We've had the opportunity to review the contents of each of these orders. So I would turn to each of you and ask if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll begin with Commissioner Duffy.
Good morning, everyone. I have no questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner French.
Good morning. No questions. I move approval of the consent agenda.
I second the motion.
Then moved and second, we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. The consent agenda is approved. We have two noticed items this morning, the first of which is docket number 23-CONS-3157-CPEN. This is in the matter of the failure of Kodiak Petroleum, Inc. as operator to comply with KAR 82-3-120 and KAR 82-3-133 by operating under a suspended license. Before us this morning is a penalty order involving Kodiak Petroleum, Inc. And our presenter is litigation counsel Tristan Kimbrell. Good morning, Tristan.
Good morning. Thank you. Before you is a penalty order for Kodiak Petroleum, which continued to perform oil and gas activities after its license was suspended for noncompliance with the Commission's penalty order in docket 23-CONS-3076-CPEN. This order assesses a $10,000 penalty. With that, I would recommend approval of the order, and I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you for the overview, Tristan. Let's see if there are any questions. I'll turn first to Commissioner Duffy.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner French.
No questions. I move approval of the order as described.
I second the motion.
Now moved and seconded, we approve the order in this docket. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. The order is approved. Thank you very much, Tristan.
Thank you.
Our next noticed item is docket number 23-TRAM-446-PEN. This is in the matter of the investigation of American Logistics LLC of Leawood, Kansas, regarding the violations of the motor carrier safety statutes, rules, and regulations, and the Commission's authority to impose penalties, sanctions, and/or the revocation of motor carrier authority. Before us this morning is a penalty order, and our presenter is litigation counsel Hassan Latif. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. The penalty order before you arises out of a compliance review of American Logistics LLC, a common carrier which hauls general freight and operates out of Leawood, Kansas. This investigation was conducted on October 19th by Special Investigator Matt Adams. And during the investigation, SI Adams found several violations, and the order before you penalizes 5 of those violations, resulting in $3,000 in total penalties. The violations are notable specifically because staff found evidence the carrier created false records of duty status, which is an intentional violation that results in an enhanced penalty according to the penalty matrix. In this case, the enhanced penalty would be $3,000. Special Investigator Matt Adams, in conducting the investigation, determined that the carrier had not created the false logs in an effort to conceal the any hours of service violations, but was a result of confusion about when records were required and what exemptions were applying to them at the time. And the carrier was open to education, and Special Investigator Adams provided training on when records were required and that such records need to be created at the time of the trip. And as a result, the investigator requested a non-enhanced penalty for this violation. The penalty matrix, because it views this type of penalty as an intentional violation, only lists enhanced penalties for this violation. But staff proposes diverging from the penalty matrix and assessing a non-enhanced penalty, which would be half of the penalty at $1,500. The penalty matrix that we have in effect currently was approved on June 28th, 2022. And in the order, the Commission stated that staff shall use the 2022 Uniform Penalty Matrix in recommending penalties for violations, except for when the staff believes a deviation is merited. And if staff believes such a deviation is merited, staff shall present the Uniform Penalty Assessment Table recommendation, as well as any alternative to the recommendation to the Commission for consideration. So in that Staff requests the commission diverge from the penalty matrix and issue a penalty of $1,500 for this violation. For the other violations, staff recommends the fines as normal according to the penalty matrix. So staff recommends approval of the order before you, which includes the reduced fine. And I and staff are ready to take any questions you have.
All right, very good overview, Hassan. Thank you for that. Let's see if we have any questions. I'll begin again with Commissioner Duffy.
Thank you. Just to note, I do believe that we actually made that very clear that if staff believes there needs to be some sort of alteration made based on the particular situation, then to bring that forward to us. And with that, I do appreciate the level of detail and consideration that you all are providing here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Duffy. Commissioner French?
I have no questions. I move approval of the order as presented.
I second the motion.
Then moved and seconded. We approve the order in this docket. Is there any further discussion? I'll add one brief footnote to this, somewhat consistent with the line of comments that Commissioner Duffy was making. I want to commend both Matt Adams and the staff within the offices there in Topeka, as well as you, Hassan, for the rather nuanced approach that everybody took to this. And I think it's came out with a very responsible result and something that is, I think, fair under the circumstances. Thank you all for that work. Any further discussion? Hearing now, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. The order is approved. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. All right, Commissioners, I believe that we've reached the conclusion of what we had on the agenda for today's meeting. Unless there's anything further you would care to take up at this time, I would entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Take care.